We will be back in some form.
We have an army of digital soldiers because this was an insurgency.
Hundreds dead, thousands infected across multiple continents.
You guys know what this represents?
All the people that have gone out there against the mainstream media and said, you're going to call us racist, you're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs, you are.
Hello. Welcome to the Patriot Party News. And here I am again. I got to change my background, but I hope everybody had a good day. There's a lot of breaking news coming out, when it comes into Iran and different things that are going on. And this is all stuff that we've expected as far as, you can say Pakistan and Afghanistan and all that stuff that's happening. These are all things that were going to happen one way or the other. I call it the cabal's playground, and that's how I've kind of tried to explain it. But welcome. We have our form of Facebook that is called Patriot Shoot. Down there on the banner there, it says join.patriotshoot.com, and Chaz has on there right now. So go do it right now. Anyways, that is where we share out information. We want your information. And one of the main goals is to get good information that's not censored and get people involved, being able to speak when they want to, and maybe find other people in their communities that are on the same wavelength, and not just not understanding what the heck's going on, because it can be extremely confusing. So if anybody is confused out there, it's, in my opinion, it's a great place to start, and it can run you through the gauntlet as to what's been going on. There's some things that we promote. My biggest thing through all this has been to understand about frequency, vibration, and energy. And when I started learning about it, knew a decent amount about it, but when I really got into it and said, I want to understand, because I had back problems, the first place I went was to John Baxter's at Anti-Aging. And I still have the same bed cover that I purchased there that grounds me. So you can be grounded at night, while you sleep, while you're healing. Another way you can do it is go outside, take your shoes off, stand in the grass next to a big tree and touch that sucker. That's a great way to ground. At the same time, we're always looking for how med beds are going to work. And of course, I'm into John Baxter stuff, and I'm also into 0 point energy, where all of these things are raising our voltage so that our cells go in and fix us, do what they're supposed to do. We all know that gold and silver is something that we should be looking into. If you are and looking for a place to purchase that, this is who I recommend, milesfranklin.com, and you call and ask for the price list, and they give you PPN's price list. We've had very good success with that. So rock and roll. I will be bringing out some good information from Coach Scott at LT360 about the bed he has, and I can't wait. We've had a few people lay on it, and very good success. Anyways, thank you for joining, and I'm going to bring Oathkeeper Bill to the stage. Let him come hang out with it. What's up? What's up?
How's it going, brother? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Everything good?
Yeah, man. Excellent.
Congratulations.
Yeah. A baby granddaughter today.
Lord, they even let you hold her.
9 pounds, 0.04 ounces.
Ooh, C-section is good then.
Yeah, for a baby girl, that's big.
Amen. That's a big girl. That's a big girl. I think that Edward Torres, who's usually with us, he is. I don't know if he's at some kind of function, but he couldn't make it tonight. But I do think he's meeting up with Doc maybe this weekend. So I'm really happy about how we're connecting people.
Yep.
You know, that are in Patriot Shoot and in Talk Time, and we've got a few America First people that are coming to over here to hang out with us. You know, and we're getting a lot of that. That was one of my big goals. You know, is to, hey, we're talking about, hey, get involved. You know, well, people say, well, how do I get involved? What do I do? So, you know, on our shows, we ask, hey, what can we do? You know, and the other day it really hit me. That you know, I need to get those America First candidates on there. When, let's say, Marcy and Val, you know, out of Illinois, they were like, okay, good. I found who I can start supporting. Who, if I wanted to, I could put some signs out in the yard somewhere. I could help them with some calls or something, or just pray for them. You know, so it was exciting for me. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, and that's what this is all about.
Like you with your sheriffs, man. That was so great for the whole freaking movement.
It's so important, and it's important and people say, well, what are you going to do about it? What can you do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing I personally can really do other than share information and work together and let our local people, our legislators, our sheriffs know that they're not alone. And that's a big deal. One thing in particular, when you vote somebody in to represent you, don't leave them alone. What are they to do? They don't know the constituent anymore. In respect to the nitty gritty, if you will, and to sit back and just watch them work. Shame on me for doing that many years, thinking we're good, you know, we'll let them rock and roll, when in fact they needed our help all along. And a huge example is Eddie Torres right now.
Mm-hmm.
He is now his own representative of El Paso, Texas, who has Doc Pete Chambers, a candidate for governor of Texas, who is willing to go to his area and help promote what El Paso may need. All that happened in 10 minutes. Not even 10 minutes, was it?
The last 10 minutes, you know, that was great. That's what I wanted to happen, and I didn't necessarily know how to do it, but I just thought, if the Lord wants that to happen, then He'll make it happen.
And there's going to be a lot of silence right now that people may take as people not caring or not wanting to communicate, when in fact, a lot of people, a lot of legislators, mayors, they're soaking in right now. They're soaking in this awakening, if you will, their own personal awakening.
Right.
And I do believe this executive order, however it comes out, is going to be the catalyst for people to repatriotize themselves and be like, let's go. We're ready. Yeah. We are ready. And it will just organically push out the bad, or it may, you know what? Gosh, this is so crazy. I can't believe I was following those footsteps. I am no longer going to follow those footsteps.
Yeah.
I'm going to veer off. So there's a lot of wonderful, wonderful things that are going to be coming. Don't take this calm in the storm, if you will, as really bad things are about to happen. Just pray for the grace of God of what is going to be happening.
Yeah.
And out of fun today, I told Sean Taylor, I was like, I ran out of red pills. I said, so I told the legislators the only thing I got left are these suppositories.
Right? They can use those. Some of them use those.
Oh, I tell you, they laughed, you know.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Yeah, I talked to Sean today. Text back and forth with him and things.
Yeah, good.
That's good stuff.
He
You
got
know,
so much information.
I don't know how many people know it, but there are so many people in our politics, in entertainment, just in regular life, big pharma, our financial institutions that are coming through or coming out that have been blackmailed for a long time. You know, when people get into that deal, and some people say they had their soul, they sold their soul to the devil. You know, like the songs and the movies that you see where somebody sold their soul to the devil. That's literally kind of what goes on. You know, they're pledging, you know, like a fraternity type thing, and a lot of secret handshake type deals where instantly that person has to agree pretty much to be blackmailed. You know, I had mentioned the other day that there were a lot of politicians, CIA, FBI, different groups, three-letter agencies that had to communicate on 20 to 23 different child pornographic sites to communicate and be on the team. That way, if they ever messed up or they ever had to be disciplined, they would be disciplined by it coming out that they were in on child porn sites. They got them, and they've got things like their children and their families and things that they can do. So those are the kind of people that we're fighting. So when you see all of this stuff happening and say, how could these people be so bad in politics? All of this was on purpose. All right, it was on purpose. This is a cabal. You can call it the globalist. You can call it the British Empire. You can call it freaking vampires, because all of that. It's all one and the same that have been that are our enemies. But if you are confused, other people are confused. The other team's confused too. The enemy is confused. They're wondering what's fixing to happen. Now, what I can say is, in my opinion, and information that I have, is that so many things are going on behind the scenes, that we have grand juries, at least two in Florida, where a lot of great information that we all know about is coming out. Now, it just so happens that a lot of people have been saying, why is Pam Bondi just in Florida all the time? She doesn't do anything, and Todd Blanche is running things, and he's compromised and all this stuff. Well, it goes back to I'm trusting what Trump's doing. If he's apt to fire somebody in a minute. He's not shy or bashful about firing folks. I think he's doing his job, and I think, in my opinion, things are working behind the scenes. And this is how it was going to happen. It's going to suck mentally, physically, with money for a lot of people. It is. We can all feel it. So if you're feeling those things, just know that that's what was going to happen. But don't let anyone tell you that, oh man, this administration's making such bad freaking decisions. Everybody's stupid. Everybody sucks. That is not the case. Anybody that says that, in my opinion, doesn't know really what they're talking about. They're just up there talking. It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, there are a lot of things going on, but just know that Trump's plan, and from the beginning, national security, all right, free and fair elections, free and fair money that cannot just be made out of thin air. That is what we are working on at the minute. Anyone that has gone after Trump and his family, and anyone that has gone after Flynn and his family. All right. Those are the things to concentrate. Now, all the other stuff kind of rolls into one. But if you're thinking that all of a sudden this one person's going to go down, this one person's going to go down, who's the first arrest? You know what? It'd be crazy if the first arrest was a grand conspiracy and everybody was like, oh, they took them all down at one time. Oh my goodness, how'd that happen? Well, think back to Capone. Think back to how do you take down a mafia or a grand conspiracy? That's how you do it.
Absolutely. The RICO charges that we hear about, I get text messages of RICO charges. Don't they realize that they are child sacrificing people and all this other? I'm like, you have to be cognizant of what the laws are able to, comprehend and stuff. And we're we're talking about the Genius Act. I mean, I printed it out. It's not very,
300 pages, maybe 200 pages.
but here's the Clarity Act.
Clarity, and that's the one that's huge.
That
Yeah.
the Clarity Act. I mean, it's like 200. I got 200 and some odd pages back to back, so it's almost 400 something pages. And if I may read the beginning of it, this is kind of cool. It's to provide for a system of regulation of the offer and sale of digital commodities by the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission to amend the Federal Reserve Act to prohibit the Federal Reserve banks from offering certain products or services directly to an individual, to prohibit the use of central bank digital currency for monetary policy and for other purposes. That is huge. It already passed in the House. It's just got to pass the Senate, right? It can't pass the Senate yet because that is going to be a tool. That's a tool that is going to be used to take us into that golden age. So we look at other things that are happening first prior to that taking place, and that would be the 2020 election frauds, the COVID-19 information that our health departments are bringing forward. We're hearing all sorts of different things, the chemtrails, so much other information is coming. We're hearing about, like, what Susan Kokinda really admonishes is the global order being done, the UN being done. We have the Board of Peace. There are so many fundamentals of this great awakening that is occurring behind the scenes, because we can never be here again. And then some people say, well, if we're under like a continuation of government, why are we seeing Congress and congressional hearings and all that? We still have to have everything on record, because 50, 100, 150 years from now, we could never ever be in a place where we are today. So we have to have congressional hearings. We have to have things like this on the record, and have, and listen to their lies, those negative people. We have to hear those lies, and then we, the people, know better due to our own research, not just us here on a podcast, but the whole world. And I am seeing it now. I am seeing more and more people like, oh, wow, this Epstein thing is huge. Holy crap. Did you hear about the Wiener laptop? Did you hear about WikiLeaks? That's worse from what I heard. Yes, I did. That conversation is all over the place now. And that's just that, let alone COVID-19. And if I may, when I went to the hospital to meet my granddaughter for the first time, I was so comfortable. I walked in the hospital like, doo-doo-doo. I'm like, I don't see anything about vaccinations. I didn't have to put a mask on. People are like, hey, how's it going? It felt like it was 15 years ago, like when things were back to normal, if you will. I get in the elevator and there was like 2 posters. One, if you want to know anything about the maintenance of it, get a hold of the maintenance office. And there was another one about something to do with the union or something. But I was like, man, where's all the advertisements? You know? So I felt great, you know? Anyway, I just wanted to share that.
Amen. Amen. I love it. Well, just a second ago, I was kind of bringing up there's 3 things: national security, free and fair elections, free and fair money, that Trump is really focusing on. Also, now is major exposure. Now, national security, the border. All right. Anyone knows the coalition that we are in with? That's TAP, the America Project. So America First folks that are being elected. Well, these are the people that have gone out and know about, Tom Homan. He started running the thing. He was one of the founding members. These, and then there's groups like Tom, or people like Tom, that have done all of this, whether it be children, whether it be elections or whatever. These things have been going on in the background for a long time. They are comprised of a lot of retired military and good citizens and people that are running for office. And they have said, yes, America First, I will sign the paper that I'm not going to take foreign money, and I'm not going to do what the cabal wants me to do. They're not going to own me. So in turn, we help them, and we get them together with like-minded people that have already been in the position they're in, so we can help them. Well, when it comes to elections, they've been getting beat up. I mean, just beat up, because they're fighting the Democrats, the Republicans, the Uniparty, rhinos. It's been nasty. In the back of my mind, I'm watching them and us do that organically. And then I'm watching what Trump is doing and the direction he's going and how he's got, boom, he did exactly what he said on the border. And then instantly you've got things going on. Ukraine was the playground of the cabal. Nastiest stuff you've ever. Now, think of a playground, and this is not the typical playground. This is where bioweapons are being made and transferred and put on the public. And that's been happening for a long time. Also, Venezuela. We've always known something was going to go on in Venezuela. Well, what's that going to do? Cuba is going to self-destruct. And also, that's going to affect China, which affects China and Australia's relationship there. And then Iran. If you want terrorism, you go purchase that from Iran, just like you would purchase bread from a freaking bakery. All right, that's how this is working. We were always going to go into Iran, or they were going to capitulate. That's it. That's what we're doing. That is it. Now, we've watched it. It's been, anything that Trump's done has been strategic. We've got the manpower over there. We've got the ships. We've got the planes. We are. That is not a joke. That's happening. It's happening in real time. We know it. All right. So,
Yeah.
But please know that's, in my opinion, it's going to be strategic. All right. We're in Mexico. What are we doing in Mexico? We were always going to go into Mexico. We've been working on it since forever. All right. So anybody that says, oh man, this is a freaking mess. No, it's not. It's happening exactly like we were told it was going to happen. I'm telling you right now, because I've been telling people for 6 years, this is how it's going to go. And it's going to suck. And it might freaking just make you mad and hurt your feelings. And hey, save money, whatever you do. Don't go make big purchases. Stay with your job. Don't, everybody hang tight, save money. Think about silver and gold. Think about maybe some crypto. Are we going there? Well, a lot of us think, that's what's going to happen. So trying to give everybody, anybody that hasn't been here, why we're talking about and why we're doing the things that we're doing. Now we are all up in public awareness. All right. Public awareness, exposure. I wake up in the morning and I know a new narrative is probably going to come out. And that narrative that they start talking about is going to be tied to something that I've learned in the past if I've been doing my studying. If I haven't, then I might miss it. But it doesn't matter, because a narrative starts. The narratives used to take 3 months to 5 years to work itself out. Now it's just taking a week or two. So they're giving us what's going on. They are going to, anyone that has involvement with foreign entities in our elections, in our money system, has land. That's it. That, just take it to the bank. Everything you're seeing happening is going on. So what do? We get up on the right side of the bed. We support our sheriffs. We get to know our sheriffs if you can. All right. Going and seeing who your sheriff is might not be your cup of tea. Your deal might be talking to your neighbor and informing people around your neighborhood, or supporting them somehow. Anything you do is valuable. Don't worry about it, but be in it.
If I can piggyback off the sheriff situation.
Yes, love for you too.
Don't be afraid to write a personal email, and it could be very polite. It doesn't have to be abrasive at all. You can state, Mr. or Mrs. Sheriff, or whoever it is, say, I'm a constituent. These are due to the research of myself and millions of other patriots, as well as whoever you want to add to it. You can add other congressmen and women that are coming forward, giving out the same information. And you can state, due to all of this information, I want to let you know, Sheriff, you are not alone. I am here to help you. They are going to organically leave, repatriotize themselves, or be arrested. One of those three things are going to happen. Or if they're already repatriated, and I say repatriotized because we've got decades upon decades upon decades of, unbeknownst to a lot of our sheriffs, they haven't really been stepping into a constitutional role. Not that they aren't personally, accepting the Constitution. They haven't been able to really use it as what our forefathers wanted us to be able to use the Constitution for. We have wonderful sheriffs that have tried to do that. So with what I'm saying is, I'm not trying to take away from that, right? But even all of us, we've recognized, man, that's unconstitutional. Why are they making us do that? Yet, how are they allowed to arrest me right now? Why are they why did I get fired from my job because I didn't want to get the jab? Why? Those are unconstitutional situations. We can't control that anymore. We are now, due to the disclosure, to the information, we're hearing Senate hearings where doctors are now coming in. Not that they are now coming in, this is even years ago, but the information is coming forward more in the public eye, I should say. The algorithms are breaking enough for what we have seen 6-7 years ago. We are seeing it again play out, and it's like, wait a minute here, we saw that 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Why is it just coming out now? It's because the algorithms are breaking, and that information is now able to be in the face of more people, because the more and more, not just that the public wakes up, if you will, the actual algorithms break to where information keeps going to different spots where people are like, whoa, this is crazy. And now we're getting like new people, if you will, texting texting us saying, "Oh my God, did you hear about this?" Yes, this has been several years ago. It's now being able to come out. Isn't that wonderful? Wonderful? What do you mean wonderful? Blah, blah, blah. Well, you have, you know what I mean? I know you know what I mean.
You got to know about it.
You know, and I said, what you need to do is you need to take what you just learned, write it down on paper, have your own personal thought on what it is that you're grasping out of whether it's what I say or somebody else says or what you just saw. You don't let the person tell you how to feel or tell you what to think. It's all about you and your personal journey here. And that is where with the sheriffs, whether they're good or bad, organically, when that authenticity keeps coming, the truth, the truth, the truth, it's going to get to such an extreme level that they are just going to bow their heads and either walk away and or get arrested due to things that they chose improperly of. We don't have to go and do it. It'll be done. And that's where I feel really comfortable saying those things to people. Saying it like that, I should say. Just write anything to any legislator, mayor, sheriff. Just write the truth. And it does not have to be in a negative fashion. I am here for you the way that I know you're here for me. Whether you know they are or not, that is their duty. That's their duty, right?
Yeah.
Don't have that predisposition of, well, they're going to fail me anyway. Well, then they're going to fail you. But you need to give them the grace that God would give. And easier said than done, because I'm like, wow, that's, I'll text Chief Taylor, like, Chief will be like, saying something nice. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Or you'll text me back and say, no, try this. So I'm like, oh, okay, I feel better now. So I need to accept my advice as well. So,
well, and we all need somebody to talk to, that can calm us down. Because hey, these are crazy times. So if anybody's confused, you're not alone. And that's okay. That's what we're doing. Taking care of each other's backs, man. We've put together, brothers and sisters in this thing, man. This has gotten so deep, as far as how I feel about the people that I talk to every day. It's pretty cool. While you're out, go ahead.
Our brother Steve from Top Time in Arizona, he'll drive folks around, and he is just awesome at telling folks what's going on, and
you talking about LZ?
LZ, I mean, it's just wonderful,
I know it.
Many of us and our ladies, our mama bears that are there, the memes that they create,
keeping us in line.
Oh, that too.
Well, we need it. Isn't it neat that mama bears have been so big into this for longer than most men, and but now we've got a lot of men that are stepping up, and I really like that. While supporting sheriffs, think about your law enforcement. Think about your first responders. Certain people are going to be read into some things that are going on just before some craziness could happen. So when you see whatever's going to go on in Iran, that should tell you, hey, I need to open my eyes up a little bit. Hopefully, I have learned about fortifying my life, which means fortifying, having my head on a swivel, having a little food and water, knowing what's going on in my yard, in my home, having a way to protect myself, and then keeping yourself up with your mind, body, and soul. Along with things happening behind the scenes, you've got in federal, grand juries going on in Florida. We know that. Pennsylvania, New York, Washington, and a lot of people are going to want this done like this and this person to go down for this. That's not going to be the case possibly. Now, I am not a mind reader. I don't have Project Looking Glass. So I'm going by gut feeling, what I've been told over the years and in the background. So what I do know is that just now there has been a deal and that Trump has just come out with called the National Fraud Enforcement. And Colin McDonald, I believe, is going to head that up. He has been working along with Todd Blanche. A lot of us think that Todd Blanche has been compromised. We will see about that. We'll see how all that works itself out. And to tell you the truth, when Trump brings people out, he either brings it out to let us see and notice how good they're doing, or show us their true face, whatever that might be, good or bad. Now, what I do know also is that right here, when they announced that the National Fraud Enforcement's coming out, well, TAP, America Project, I'll be March 25th, I'll be in Vegas at a fraud enforcement meeting. All right. Now, what does this do? This will be bringing people that are past military, that are private investigators, that are just normal citizens who have, that might be past sheriffs, like Chief Sean Taylor will be there. He will be bringing all of his information. Now, in my opinion, Sean's information is already out there. I'm not at liberty to say where, but in my opinion, Sean's information has gone up the ladder far enough that it has been passed off maybe to a few different places. Goes to this place, then is put here and put here. Also, we know that Sean some people have joined the team with Sean. The Flynn brothers. All right. So any contact that General Flynn has, he is pointing him in the right direction, pointing Sean, and that's what Sean needed. Sean went and worked his tail end off for however many 15 years, did that. He got here to where he is, and he's like, okay, let's get this, push this forward. And all of a sudden, the Lord sends the Flynns, it looks like, and good things are happening. Now, also at that meeting, it's people like Sean, like Brunson, like anyone in the United States that has done all of that work organically. And the other people that are coming on the other side are people like from the DOJ and law enforcement who does the indictments. And we're going to walk in there and say, here's all your investigation that would take you 1 year or 2 years or 5 years to complete and then start indictments. Well, don't worry about that. We all got that ready for you. Your stuff is complete. Here it is on a silver platter. And that information, amongst a lot of different people, puts their puzzle together. They're saying, well, how's this happening? Well, this person's with this person, and this person is using this bank, and this person's also using it. That's what's going on. And I take it, the way I've said it all happened was a long time ago. There was a huddle up. And somebody, I would say some generals, probably got this huddle up together and got some wonderful ex-military who speak their language, who have already been whistleblowers, put them together, sectioned them up into coalitions, or they got in their own coalition. And then all of a sudden, new people started coming in. And that started growing, just like it did for me 30 years ago, when, in my opinion, there were people out there that knew what was going on, and they was hitting one at a time, saying things on chats and hoping one person would say, man, that's crazy, I believe that. And then 3 minutes later or 2 years later, that person finally duplicate what they're saying and tell somebody else. Now that person turns into two, and then those two people tell two others, and we got 4, and then we got 8, and then we got, that's how this has gone for a long time to where we are now, to now we got it all, and it's exposure of what we have and let everybody know what's going on. This is a done deal, but there's a lot to go through. That's just my opinion.
And it had to be that way due to the not just the amount of corruption. When people hear, oh, politicians are corrupt, they don't realize what the corruption was about. It literally was a color revolution to end America the way that we knew America to be. The we're in a true fight for our true liberty, our true freedom. This is a revolutionary war, and that never really finished the way that we were raised learning that we won it. And with all these folks that are behind the scenes collaborating their information, it has been we the people. It has been, if you want to look at them as the colonialists, literally branching out into the, like what Chief Taylor had going on with fraudulent RICO situations, and you have Patrick Burns and his team with the fraudulent elections from foreign involvement, and then you have teams and task forces that President Trump is able to establish behind the scenes through people like General Flynn, and then our Treasury Secretary. You'll hear him say, Minnesota is our genesis to how we're going to clean up the fraud within our nation. And then you watch how they're handling it, and then you see Tom Homan, and you identify things with him. And then there are other veterans, especially veterans, but other patriot teams coming up, helping out with child trafficking investigations and things of that nature, that we had to go to these these patriots and utilize forces in that type adventure more so than utilizing a Department of Justice, due to the caliber of infection that we had from the British Imperial, or the Khazarians, or cabals, or whatever we want to call them. And then when the Epstein situation is being broadcasted, that's a disclosure to help show people the evil, because this is a spiritual situation that we're in between evil and good, not a Republican Democrat, not American, non-American. This is literally Satanists that were in control, and we're getting our government back, and it's exciting.
It is. That global blackmail network is kind of what it is. People that are trained to do that, CIA type things, all they've been doing, when somebody maybe agrees to sell their soul, or they want to get them to sell their soul or not give them a chance, they're all about leveraging and kind of compromising video evidence of sexual misconduct, problems with money, stealing, drugs, things like that, especially sexual misconduct, and that's the primary mechanism for controlling key figures in American politics and business. All right, that is how they do it. It's a system that doesn't necessarily change. And that's sometimes, if you look at the way people act before they're popular or before they're famous, and then all of a sudden you say, man, that their whole life changed. They look different. Something's weird, Well, this system is what explains how irrational actions by high-ranking officials is used and happens, and subverts. It's against the national interest. It is. They're doing things that you say, well, that doesn't make any sense. This administration is stupid. What are they doing? It was an elaborate plan. They did not mess up. It was not an accident, and it started with elections, and elections are so important. So if some people talk about them a lot, that's why. If some people don't talk about them any, or say it doesn't mean anything, then they literally have no idea what they're talking about. I'm telling you, no idea what they're talking about. Just my opinion.
We're in a good place. It doesn't look like everything's in line yet, but it's going to become more and more prevalent what's going on. I know, what was it? 12.5% of the whole nation really voted for the presidential elections,
Okay.
and even New York City, only 30% of actual New York City constituents voted for the mayor. So there is a sense of distrust for the government, which I get, and I totally understand that. But does that mean give up? You can't give up. We the people are getting our strength back, and with what's about to hit, I feel is going to repatriotize the whole world, not just our nation. And when we've heard over the years, it's going to be like a 9/11 moment. When 9/11, when that happened, that sense of love for neighbor occurred. That
a lot
was
of going back to God.
and a lot of people went back to God. If you don't believe in God, I hear what you're saying, but don't think people don't really believe in Satan.
Right.
So, and that has affected you. And you said something earlier about how things were brought to us. Even people like the Hannah Montana, when she was a little girl, growing up on the television through like those kid sitcoms, very innocent, a very innocent child, singing and looked very lovely, and it attracted a certain group of children, and they followed Hannah Montana. And then a decade later, she's on some type of a wrecking ball with just a pair of underwear on and a shirt.
She went cray like
You know?
Shanae, didn't she?
So that influence just from that one individual brought in thousands upon thousands. And there are your people that are easily influenced by Hollywoods, by music, by different things. And it's literally true. The MK Ultras and things like that. I was affected myself, in many situations. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there too. And I'm going to sign off and let you finish up the night. And
all right, brother. Congratulations. So happy for you and your family, and healthy little girl, and congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, brother. Have a good night.
I'll get you. Bye. Well, thank you for joining. Appreciate you coming to show up, and to all the folks out there that have supported us so much. We really appreciate it. Couldn't do this without you, and we're just going to continue doing everything we can to help in this movement wherever we fit in. I think is kind of what we're doing, the best we can, So I hope everybody else does the same. If you are having trouble fitting in, or if you're confused, maybe give it a shot. Coming and hanging out with us. Patriot Shoot is where you go to come hang out with us. Join.patriotshoot.com. And if you do, daily, we have a lot of people posting things in Patriot Shoot. Now, I hang out in Talk Time, And that's where, if I've got information, I'm coming to, and I'm going to talk to those people on a daily basis, mods and things. And that's where I'm going to bring my information to. Now, it's also going to go on Patriot Shoot. And at some point, I'm going to be in those two places when this all is really, really going down. Boom, boom, boom. And that's going to happen pretty soon. Chaz is going to be there the same. And we're going to be just hitting the information as good as we can. We'd love for you to be a part of it. But come join us. We need the support. We want to continue doing this and do the best we can. So thank you for joining. Come hang out with us at join.patriotshoot.com. Remember, it's time for everyone to understand your grounding. Think about eating your honey. We got some, it's going to get warm here pretty soon and things are going to start blooming. So it might be good to get some of that honey, local honey in your system. That's something big. I would really be thinking about changing out my filters. An air filter where you sleep is a great thing. Watching your relative humidity and how that is affecting you. If you don't know about it, come hang out with us. It's something we can point you in the right direction on. Thank you for joining again. Have a good evening, great weekend. Stay out of trouble or don't. Thanks and bye.